everybody, welcome back. My name is Amy and this is my channel about cross stitch. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back and visiting with me. I'm going to be sharing what I've been up to this past couple of weeks. Just been trying to gather everything together and organize myself. I was thinking about waiting another week, but to be consistent, I was like, nope, I'm just going to stop what I'm doing and just go ahead and do my Flosstube now. So right out of the gate, my laptop says that the battery was low, so I had to stop and go grab the cord for that. But thank you so much to everybody for your wonderful comments on my previous video. It's so encouraging when others comment and and give advice, and thank you so much. I love that. I love connecting with others that way. I've yet to go on a retreat, and I actually was thinking maybe this year I'll be able to go on a retreat. I think you really have to plan ahead quite a bit, so I don't know, this may be another year that I won't get to go, but it's definitely in my plans. One of these days I will attend a retreat. I want to say, I just wanted to go over a couple of comments. I had a question from E. Martin about the the floss that I used for Christmas garden, and I did use the call for threads. There's only 4 actually, 4 different colors, and I had a lot left over. I think it was one. Was it the Calico Kitty? No, I had lots of the Calico Kitty left. Actually, I have some of all of them left, so I had more than enough. And I love that I had some left, because now that can go in my stash. But yes, I did. I used the call for colors, and I think I did 1/2 on, I think it was 40 count. So thank you for that question. I love that. Thank you, Carla, for mentioning the Morgan hoop. I completely forgot about that. But you're right. I think that would be a lot easier. I was using just a regular round hoop, and holding it in your hand and punching, doing punch, it's a little bit difficult. So I definitely need to get me a Morgan hoop. So thank you for reminding me of that, because I'd totally forgotten about that. I was so excited to see that Lenny from Sable Stitches watched my video. I'm so excited. Yeah, thank you so much for that. I heard your comment, and I was like, oh my gosh. So that was pretty exciting. Thank you so much. I do have some stitching that I got accomplished. But I don't know, this last couple of weeks I feel like was kind of I learned a lot. What would I call it? An educated couple of weeks tutorial. I felt like I learned a lot about stitching with different flosses and fabrics and colors, and so I'm just gonna dive right into it. I was able to get my starts that I'd mentioned that I was going to start on the 1st. And one of those is Flowers for You by Jeanette Douglas. And I'll go ahead and get this out and try not to rattle the paper too much. But this is the one that I had planned on starting on the 1st. And I was super excited because I had ordered all of the 103s, which was some of the suggested floss. I had ordered all of those. I had my fabric and everything, and it did start. I did get a start, so here's my start. And I had gotten that far into it, and So the first thing I realized, I ordered, sorry, I should get the camera. I had ordered 32 count in the Aztec red. So the pattern calls for, hold on. The pattern calls for 36, 40, or 46 count. As a matter of fact, I think she does comment that she used one strand of 103 on 46 count. And so I was like, oh my gosh. I wasn't paying attention. There are some, I wasn't paying attention to the count of the fabric. I've not ever stitched on 46 count, actually. 40 count is probably the highest count fabric I've stitched on to date, which I don't mind it. I actually enjoyed it. Just like within the last year, I've kind of went down and wanted to try stitching on some lower count fabric. And so, but I have stitched on 40 count, but never 46 count. And so in that situation, when I had started it, I was like, well, to get enough coverage, I would have to use 2 strands. And so I started out using my 103s, and I was using 2 strands. And I was like, I don't know. For me, it was difficult. It was difficult to use the 103, 2 strands of 103, because it's a lot stronger thread. And so I thought, well, then I realized, because I was thinking, well, okay, what do I do? So I had 2 choices. I could either go with the DMC colors, or I could, so I could go with the DMC colors. Or I could order the 46 count Aztec red. So I was like, well, because I really wanted to stitch with 103. So I went online and I was trying to find the 46 count Aztec red. And there was like only one place that had that fabric. So I was like, well, okay, then I will go and I will grab, I'll grab the DMC. So I did. I went and I got the DMC. Or I tried to match it as best as I could. There are suggestions, and actually I didn't take the time to see if I had picked out the right colors according to the suggestions. But anyway, I did pick up the DMC. Let's see if I can. So what I'm thinking I'm gonna do is I'm just going to take the stitching that I have out. Let's see if I can do this without the fabric that I sewed to the side. There we go. So these are, I think these are pretty close to the 103s. So I could order probably the flosses, because there's a couple of these colors that I really wasn't able to match well. This is one of them that I wasn't able to really match well with the DMC. Everything else, I think it was this color too. And so, I don't know. I did order some 46 count fabric from 123 Stitch. It's on its way. I think I'm supposed to get that. Let's see, today's Wednesday. I think I'm supposed to get that Friday, because I was thinking, I wonder if I could color a piece of fabric. But anyway, maybe I will just order. I will order the Veriswa for that. Or is that right, Veriswa? Anyway, yeah. So yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I just wanted to stitch this pattern, you know, and so I was like, oh, we'll go get the DMC and I'll just stitch it on the 32 count. We'll be okay. But now that I realize that, organizing to do my floss tube, maybe I'll do that. I'm not very patient. I'll have to wait until I get those threads. I mean, I think I probably have some of the colors. Maybe I have all the colors. I could check it, but see, I wasn't gonna take floss from other projects. Oh, but I guess I could order the floss, and then if I have the floss in my Antong, maybe I'll do that too. I'll check, and that way I can get started on it right away. But that's sorry, that was kind of long-winded, but that's my updated that's my update on starting Flowers for You by Jeanette Douglas. So I had another lesson. I decided to work on my, I have the photo of it here. I decided to work on my Proctor Flowers by Lottie Daw. It was kind of worn. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll work on my Fractors of Flowers since I can't work on my Flowers for You. And so this is my update on it. This is how far I am. And if you watch my previous video or my whips, you may or may not notice that there's some of the stitching that I had done on it is not there anymore. And that's because I don't know what I just don't know what I was thinking when I was stitching on this when I first started it. But I had, if I can, I'll get a photo of where I was before. But right in here, I had stitched the wrong color. So I took that out, and I had to stitch this stem. This would be the third time that I stitched that stem, because right in here I'd noticed that I was off a stitch. But anyway, that's where I'm at with this one. I don't know, the coverage is one of the things that, so I'm stitching at 2/2. The pattern recommends 1/2. And I really like the way the colors pop with the 2/2 on this. And I am stitching this on, I'm almost sure this is 32 count. Proctor Flowers. Sorry. 32 count light mocha. Yep. So the pattern calls for 32 count fabric, but I'll suggest mentions stitching 1/2, which I mean it's upside down. I think it looks fine. So like the pot, the planter is, the red is stitched 1/2, and I think the coverage is fine. I just like the way this bird pops and the flower in the corner. I just mistakenly had started stitching at 2/2 because of what I'd learned on the 32 count Flowers for You. So I was like, I got over here somewhere, or like right in here, and I realized that I had stitched all of this in 1/2. But yeah, so I think I love this pattern. I can't wait to finish it so I can frame it. But that's where I'm at with that one. So like I said, this past couple of weeks, it's just been kind of a learning session. Let's see. That was the only two things really actually that I had learned. It's just basically stitching on 32 count, and I guess it's pretty much your preference. You know, if you want to stitch 1/2. I should have stitched 1/2 with the 103, which is probably fine on 32 count, being that the suggestion is 1/2 on that 32 count with DMC. So I think I just prefer it to be a little bit darker. So with that said, I did work on, I'll go ahead and do this one I worked on, because these are my older whips, I worked on Land That I Love by Teresa Kogut, because I really was, I was shocked when I looked at, when I was doing my whip parade, going through everything. I was just kind of shocked that all the stitching that I still had left done on this, and I thought I was almost finished. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna stitch on, this is really not in the order that I stitched. I actually stitched on Land That I Love after Flowers for You, but it all kind of blends in together. So I'm getting everything upside down today, but I just went ahead. I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna stitch on this, and I did work on this for a good while last week. So I finished everything in that bottom section. The flag, I did the top, I finished the top of the house, the windows, finished filling those in, and then I stopped off with doing this border right here, with this border right in here. At that point, I was just like, okay, I feel like maybe I should be stitching on something else. But also, I had ran out of my, what was the color? And it's probably, I ran out probably because Fathom by Weeks Dye Works tried to go and match the DMC, I couldn't. So I used, I don't remember what color I used. I just kind of compromised on the DMC. I think I used the color 939. And I mean, I think it looks fine. You can't really tell as far as the color in the windows. But I feel like if you look at the roof of the houses over to the left and the stairway, I just felt like it was, the Fathom is just a little bit richer, deeper blue. So I did order some more of that, and it's on its way. But yeah, that's where I'm at with that one. So my plans are probably to start, this border, these two borders are quite intense. Fun, but intense. So I think my goal coming up is I will work on these two borders, because in the top I still have my Y, my Z, and the 1, 2, 3 left to do in the top section. So I really want to get this done for the upcoming 4th. So I want to make sure I have that completed and hopefully framed so I can display that this year. This is a really old whip, so that would be nice if I could get that one done and get it displayed. So another one that I worked on the past couple weeks was Blooming Bouquet by Jeanette Douglas, number 2 Cheerful. And this is such a pretty piece. I did get a start on that one. And I'm stitching this on 36 count Mellow by Picture This Plus. This is actually a piece that I had, and I'm sure that's the bottom. So that's my start on that one. And I'm stitching this with the Call For threads, Gloriana. So I bought the floss pack, the floss pack from 1, 2, 3 Stitch. So it has some MPI, Gloriana. It has Classic Colorworks and the Thread Gather flosses. So I'm stitching all of those. I'm stitching it with all of the Call Forward flosses. And I also was able to start, so I had 2 starts that I wanted to start on March the 1st. And I was able to go ahead and do those starts. I decided that I wanted to start my mirabilia, and she is the Cathedral Woods Goddess. And so I got a start on her. And here's my start. Let me see if I can straighten the frame up a little bit more. So there we go. That is my start. And it's so much fun. I love stitching on this. I'm so excited. I actually wanted to get more done. But I didn't have a couple of the DMCs that I needed, and so I was like, okay, well, I'll have to go get the DMCs. And I just didn't get back to it before this Flosstube. So, but I'm definitely gonna be stitching on her because I did go get the DMCs that I needed. I'm not going to be stitching any of the chronic or the beads until after I get all the stitching done with the regular floss. So yeah, so that's what I've been working on this past couple of weeks. I'm just gonna kind of glance over my calendar. Oh, Robert, we did celebrate my son's birthday. We were gonna go to the Texas Roadhouse because we always like to go out to dinner on someone's birthday. And so my husband and I and my youngest daughter, who's in college now, we had gotten to Texas Roadhouse before everybody else. So we were like, okay, well, let's just go in and see how long the line is, because we know there's usually a line. And so we walk in and we ask the person at the counter if they had a table for us, and I was like, yeah, but it's going to be about a 3-hour wait. We're like, oh, no, we're not going to wait 3 hours, because I think it was like 6. I mean, who goes to Texas Roadhouse at like 6 p.m. on a Friday thinking they're going to get a table like within 30 minutes? But anyway, we're like, okay. So we left, and we all decided we'd go to Outback, so we celebrated his birthday at Outback. And it was very fun, very, very happy environment, and we all enjoyed it. So let's see. Land That I Love, I worked on that. I forgot to show my book of days. I think I forgot to show it I think I showed it for January, maybe. I don't know, but there's not much there. But my February, where's my February? It's really washed out. And then I've got my March. It's hard to see. And that's pretty much it. That's all I've been up to, guys, for like the last couple of weeks. I really wanted to have a lot more to share today, but I need to be consistent and do this every couple of weeks. Yeah, so, you know, after you stitch a while, you get to where you're like, where am I at according to all the plans that I have? So 2 weeks is good for me, because I was starting to get that feeling of being lost. And so with all the learning, I guess, I've been doing lately, but I hope everyone's doing good. It's a lot warmer than today, and like the last couple of days than it was in my previous Flosstube. Okay, sorry about that. My daughters came back from skating. They've been skating all morning, but my husband and I haven't been able to get back to our walking yet, but I think the weather is getting better to where we could. I mean, we have a gym membership. We could go to the gym, but we're like 30 minutes out of town, so it's quite a drive to go back and forth. And I mean, it's just a lot easier if you just walk around the block in the afternoon. But anyway, yeah, that's about everything that I can think of that I can share today. So I hope you guys are doing well, and that this coming couple of weeks till I see you again, I hope that you, or talk to you again, that you get some good stitching time in, that you be safe and stay well. All right, thank you so much for your support and encouragement in my videos and my stitching. Thank you so much. And I will see you in my next Flosstube. Okay, thank you. See ya.